I'm gonna rebel and go to Penn and Ivy League. You've done enough work to like deserve to like maybe buy a ticket, but like not to necessarily win the lottery.
I didn't think I would get in. Like I thought there was like zero chance I would get in. My parents didn't think I'd get in. I'm pretty sure my friends didn't think I would get in. Like it was a very low chance kind of thing.
I wish I had gone to Brown because I feel like I would have had a boyfriend if I did.
Accumulated good karma. Like I literally think part of the reason I got into Stanford is because I got cheated on, to be honest.
Don't put that in the video, that's literally illegal. Don't put that in the video.
So hey guys, today I have a special video for you guys. I'm here today with Tara and Olivia who go to Stanford. So they're basically just better than me off the bat, but they have offered to do a video with me, which is totally awesome. So today I thought we would go over why we chose the specific school that we chose and kind of the different factors that went into our decision on that. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So stay until the end of the video so I can get that watch time. Awesome, let's get into it. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? I feel like, yeah, okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Tara, 1/3 of Stanford Trio, and I'm excited to be here.
Hello everybody, my name is Olivia and I'm another member of Stanford Trio, and I'm so happy to be making a video with Haley today.
Yay! Okay, let's get into the first question, and the first question is, why did you pick your specific school? And why did you choose to apply there? So Tara, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think that my reasons for liking Stanford were kind of bad, to be honest. Like, I honestly feel like I got really lucky in the fact that like Stanford is really like the best school for me, but I didn't apply for that reason. I grew up not in the US, and I would come to California every summer to stay with my grandfather. So Stanford was like the school that I knew about, like the big school like in the area. We were in San Jose, which is really close by. So I feel like I just had this association that like Stanford was like this golden thing. And I like did not do research. Like I went on college tours, but I did not tour Stanford. I just like had this idea that it was like the correct place for me, which was wrong and stupid, and I honestly probably was influenced more by clout than I wish I was. But ultimately Stanford is really good for me because it's a good cultural fit, and I think I'm like very relaxed, and I like the California vibe, and also the weather. Like people don't talk about that, but I think like if you're not used to East Coast weather, like going to a place that is really snowy is actually kind of tough. So those are some of the reasons that I really like Stanford, but I chose it just because I was stupid and young and was like, oh, I want the Stanford name.
Yeah, so if you go to our channel, you will find a video that says, I applied to 36 colleges and universities, which I did, and that is absolutely horrifying. I do not recommend doing that. So if you ask me why did I apply to Stanford, it's because I applied to like every top college that I could, because I didn't know what else to do, and that was the choice that I made. So there wasn't like a specific reason behind me applying to Stanford. Like it literally just got lost in all of the other applications that I did. It didn't feel like that important in the grand scheme of things because I didn't think I wanted to go there. But then ultimately, when I was admitted, I think I chose to go to Stanford because I got to campus and I could just feel the work hard, play hard vibes, and that was something that I was super into because I had toured like Columbia and Brown and all these other places that to me just had a very like grind like mentality, and I like to just like chill and like have fun, and I feel like Stanford really curated that experience for me, and I've been very lucky with that as well.
So funny. Like
I'm like, I don't want to work hard, so
Oh my god. My reasons were kind of similar to Tara's. I honestly did not put in as much thought as I should have when I was choosing where I was gonna ED to, since that's a pretty huge decision where if you get in, like you need to go there, you don't have any other option. So I have like 2 friends who go to Penn right now, and like I just really like them as people. So the fact that they went to Penn and they're really liking Penn almost made me like,
oh, like I'm friends with them, so that means I would like Penn too, right?
this also might be kind of bad to say, but when I was applying, when I chose where to apply, I kind of wanted to go to a really good school, but a really good school that was still like a little underrated. So I didn't really want to apply to Harvard or Yale or like those like, or MIT, those schools, because I felt like there's like a connotation with them where they're like really bratty or really stuck up because they go to like the school. So I didn't want to be a part of that. And I really like that it was in a city. Like, because I know a lot of schools are in the middle of nowhere, and that was not what I was about. I just kind of went off like the vibe of the school, I guess, and like whether I thought I would have a fun time there or not.
It's so funny that you were like, I'm gonna rebel and go to Penn, an Ivy League.
Also such a good school.
One of the best schools.
But the crazy thing is, I did not even know Penn was a school before sophomore year.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And like it's weird because I knew about all the other Ivies. I knew about Dartmouth, Brown, Cornell, all of those, but I had no idea what Penn was.
I just said that in your application. You were like, I don't really know what this is. Just apply, whatever.
My good friends got into Penn. Like at first, like when she got her decisions, I found out that she got into Penn and U Chicago, I think. And I was like, oh my god, U Chicago is such a good school. And I had no idea how good Penn was.
That's so funny. I love that.
You've heard the like joke that people make about like Penn State and like UPenn, you know that whole thing?
Oh yeah. I didn't know about that until I got admitted.
So I applied early action to Stanford and got in, and so I didn't really apply to a ton of other schools. But the decision to apply early to Stanford was a very tough one for me because it's like it was very unlikely that I would get in just because like it is essentially a lottery ticket, and I think early decision tends to help you at schools, but early action, at least at Stanford, it doesn't really help you. Like you're still facing kind of daunting acceptance rate, and it was like statistically, logically, kind of a dumb decision to apply early to Stanford, but I felt like I just needed to do it because if I had applied ED somewhere else and gone there and like never gotten to like shoot my shot, I would have been really sad. So ultimately I was like, I'm okay if I do this and I don't get in and then I wasted my ED shot and I have to like go to like a decent UC, like I'll be fine with that. I'm comfortable with that decision. And yeah, like I mean, I'm ultimately really glad I did it because as much as it is a lottery ticket, like it worked out and I'm so glad that I applied. I didn't apply to like many other schools. I actually sort of unintentionally applied to the UCs because I had submitted my application prior to getting into Stanford and then I just like totally forgot to withdraw it. So a few months later I got like some acceptances and was like, oop, like oops.
Don't put that in the video, that's literally illegal. Don't put that in the video.
Was it illegal?
Not allowed to do that. If you apply to Stanford early action, you can't apply, maybe it's only private universities.
Yeah, I think it was you can't apply to other early decision schools, I think, right?
I had to
Hopefully you're fine. Hopefully you don't get your
You're going
You get an email from Stanford like when I upload this and they're like, oh, you're no longer a Stanford student.
Okay, so
that's cool.
I also got into Berkeley, UCLA, UCSD, and UCSB. Even though I didn't.
Ooh.
All public universities.
It's not illegal.
So as I said, I applied to an insane amount of schools. I applied to 36 universities, and off the top of my head, I would say I got into like 28 to 29 maybe of those schools that I applied to because I applied to like a really wide breadth of schools in terms of like acceptance rate. So I got into all of my safeties, all of my targets, and then probably like half of my reach schools. So I got rejected from Penn, my complex. I got rejected from Harvard, Yale, and one other Ivy League. Princeton. I got rejected from Princeton as well. Yeah, very weird.
My friend goes to Princeton. One of my closest friends.
My sister just got into Harvard Law School and I've like never felt this embittered in my life, but simultaneously proud. And then like a selection of random schools, like I didn't get into Vanderbilt or Duke, and then I got waitlisted at a lot of schools, and then I just like hopped off the waitlist because I'd already gotten into like Stanford, so I was like, this is the right choice for me.
Awesome. So I only ended up applying to 4 schools, I think, and because I ED'd to Penn and I got in, so like there was no reason for me to apply to other schools. So I applied. I ended up rescinding my applications. Is that what it's called? Yeah, taking out my applications before I even got the decision when I got into Penn. So I applied to University of Michigan, Michigan State because I lived in Michigan, so I could go for that in-state tuition. And I applied to Case Western, I think. So, and then Penn. But I only ended up getting a decision from MSU that I got in, and then for the other ones, I just took it out. I was really close to not eating to Penn because I didn't think I would get in. Like, I thought there was like 0 chance I would get in. My parents didn't think I'd get in. I'm pretty sure my friends didn't think I would get in. Like, it was a very low chance kind of thing. Because I feel like everyone always says, like, you need a spike to get into these really good schools. I had no spike whatsoever. I was just like your average, like, good student, I guess you would say. So, I don't know. My parents also initially didn't want me to apply to Penn because they were like scared about like the whole ED aspect of it, of, you know, if I get in but like the financial aid package isn't that good, like how will I afford to go to Penn? Like, I don't know. But then I kind of was just like, no, I'm applying to Penn. Like, I didn't really think about that part. I was like, I'll get to that part if I, you know, have to figure that out. Obviously, I don't really have a great concept of money yet as a high school student, so, you know, like, $60K, like, that's nothing, right? I felt like something in my heart, I was like, I feel like Penn's right for me, so I didn't really do that much research on other schools. I literally just, like, went all in on Penn, and thank God it worked out, but, you know. Also, I didn't really start any of my other applications while I was waiting, so that's also good.
Wait, that's so true. I would have been so fucked if I hadn't gotten in early, because I was like, right after I submitted my Stanford early application, I went through some trauma in high school where basically my boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend, and it was tea, and it was horrible. And so like that was my whole next couple of months, was just like dealing with that. And I didn't write like a single essay, I don't think. Like, I would have been so screwed if I didn't get in.
No, I kind of went through the whole thing. Like, I had like this whole situation with a guy when I was waiting where he like ghosted me. We talked all summer, and then as soon as he went to college, crickets, nothing. So I was like dealing with that, and I was like so fuming during that time I was waiting. And I also feel like, you know, I would go to my friend's room and just like cry a little and be like, okay, that was enough energy I spent for the night. I can't do this anymore. So
I accumulated good karma. Like, I literally think part of the reason I got into Stanford is because I got cheated on, to be honest. God was like, okay, I'm not religious, but I mean God in a nice way. I can say that once I got into Stanford had completely been my dream school, like the only place I really wanted to go. And then when I got in, I like joined the Facebook group, and I was like, ew, I don't like this, just because like
it was so weird.
Yeah, the Facebook group was just really not a good vibe, and I was like, maybe this is not the right school for me. And I freaked out, and I decided I wanted to apply to Brown because that was like the other school that I had been considering. And so I went in, I talked to my like college admissions officer at my school, and I was like,
I want to go to Brown. Like, I think that I don't like Stanford.
and they were like, you're stupid, like that's wrong.
yeah.
And they were like, you're gonna like it. And they were right. Like, I in the moment was like, no, like they're ruining my life. Like, Stanford is wrong for me. Like, I was all wrong. And they were like, go to Stanford, you'll be fine. And they were correct. So I didn't apply anywhere else.
I feel like that's true with so many Facebook groups. Like, the people who are active on those Facebook groups is not an accurate representation of like who actually goes to that school. And also, did you guys have like a group meet?
Yeah, like all these different weird group meets, and like the people that are like popping off in these groups, I was like, oh my god, like is this like the Stanford population? But it's really not. It's not. There's like better people there.
So I had like a crisis, like literally a crisis when choosing my school, because my sister went to Brown, and at the time I like wanted to go where she was so badly, and I had spent so much time at Brown just because like visiting her, and like I spent like 2 weeks there for admit weekend because I like went a couple weeks early, and I like really liked it. But then I got into Stanford, and I just did not know what to do with myself because, you know, I thought, oh, I have all these options, I'm gonna be so conflicted, but ultimately the only 2 schools that really felt right to me were Stanford and Brown. And actually I think like 4 out of my 6 like closest friends all were choosing between Brown and Stanford because they do have really like similar vibes in my opinion. I don't know if you would agree, Tara, but
How do all your friends get into Brown and Stanford? What the heck?
oh my god, not my high school, my college friends.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like
I was literally
6 people from your school gets into Brown and Stanford, and I was like, what
that
the
would
heck?
be insane. I was literally the second person to get into Stanford in my school's history, so definitely not. There was like no one.
Oh shoot!
Ooh,
One.
that's so interesting. I definitely am a huge type of person to have like FOMO. Like I just always want to feel like I made the best decision. Like, you know, like paradox of choice where like having more choices you're upset because you're like, oh, I could have done this other thing. I totally had that freshman year where I would be like, what if like this would have been different at like this other school? And the one thing that I kind of regret is I think like the East Coast aesthetic is really cute. Like I didn't appreciate that when I was applying, I didn't get it, but now I'm kind of like, ooh, like I get why like the whole Ivy thing is cute. And I think Stanford's campus, in my personal opinion, is kind of ugly. So that's like the one thing that I haven't liked. But other than that, I've been like very happy with my school and I think it turned out serendipitously that Stanford is kind of like the perfect place for me, even though I didn't apply for the right reasons.
Stanford's campus is ugly?
I personally find Stanford's campus to be very ugly.
That is literally the
So many people love the Stanford campus.
It's known as being like the most beautiful campus, like picturesque golf course vibes.
I feel like East Coast is like ivy and brick, and you're like, ooh, I'm like.
I feel like Ivy is so gray. Like, it's so like colorless, especially in the winter. It's just like so gray. It's so horrible.
The grass is always greener. The ivy is always greener.
That's true.
So this is like the most embarrassing thing ever, but Tara and I were on the phone earlier and we were actually having this exact conversation for like no apparent reason. We were just chatting about it and I said like the worst, least feminist thing in the world and I was just like, I wish I had gone to Brown because I feel like I would have had a boyfriend if I did. Which, okay, I do not regret going to Stanford.
Because they're like so artsy and
Stanford dating culture is just like the wackest thing ever. Like people don't really relationship up like at all. Whereas I feel like in like my sister's experience and her friends' experiences, like people date a lot more. I don't actually regret that. Like that's just me being funny. But I think that at moments I did regret going to Stanford just because I, similarly to Tara, like kind of wanted those like Ivy League, like old age kind of vibes that are like very, I could imagine myself in fall like walking through campus and it's like snowing, but then I'm from Montana and I realize I like hate the snow, so all in all I don't regret my choice, I guess.
It's so funny, our idea of like the East Coast, we're like, oh, it's so cold. In reality, the snow is like horrible.
For me, I actually don't think I really regretted my decision, but I think that's because I didn't look into other schools that much, and I also didn't get into any other schools. So like, I have like a very like big problem of not being able to make decisions. Like I think Tara said, like I cannot make any decisions. Like even if it's just like choosing between like 2 colors for my calculator, I will literally spend like 15 minutes just staring at it. And trying to like make a little like pros and cons list in my head. But yeah, like I honestly, like when I got into Penn, I was so shocked and I felt so blessed to get in and lucky that I was like I'm done. My life is complete, which obviously that's not true. Like college is not everything, but in the moment I know like a lot of other high schoolers, like college is like a pretty big like thing in your life, so yeah.
It's like such a good feeling to feel like you're set. You're like, ooh, did it, into college.
And it's so crazy to think we're like the really small minority of people like who do get decisions that they like. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it was tough like watching some of my other friends like not get in to like where they want to go, even though they're like fully capable, amazing people, and I'm like, you deserve to get into those schools. Like if I got in, like you should be getting in, but I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I feel like it was very clear to me from like everyone in my life that like I was like probably not gonna get in. Like my parents were like, definitely no. My college counselor, I remember him having this talk with me. He was like, sweetie, like, it's a lottery ticket. Like, you've done enough work to, like, deserve to, like, maybe buy a ticket, but, like, not to necessarily win the lottery. I was like, thanks, King. Appreciate that. Like, I don't think anybody thought I was gonna get in. I just, like, felt like I needed to apply. Like, that's all that I knew, that I, like, needed to apply. And I remember preparing myself for opening the letter, just knowing that it was gonna say, like, we regret to inform you, like, we've had a record number of applications this year, like, whatever. And then I opened it and it said congratulations, and I literally was like, I was genuinely really, really surprised.
I told my dad to open all of my acceptance or rejection letters for me, so I gave him access to my email and like my password, because I just personally didn't want to have to deal with the pain of like opening the rejection letters, just in case there were like a lot of them. I thought that that would really like hurt my feelings, and so I let him like tell me every single place that I got into, which was really fun when I would get into somewhere, and then he just like wouldn't tell me where I got rejected. And so Ivy Day passed, and I like didn't know when Stanford came out with their decisions, and so I just assumed that that was like my last round of like hearing about anything, and I just assumed I had gotten rejected from Stanford. And so obviously no, I did not think I was gonna get in. I just like assumed I wasn't, that it kind of became like non-existent even in my like train of thought, so just lucky.
But yeah, like you guys probably know, I did not expect that I would get into Penn. Thank God I did. I actually remember when I opened my letter. I feel like that's like a time like that a lot of people remember, but I was trying to like push off like opening like the screen thing, so I was like filling like goodie bags for my advisees so I could just like not think about it, because like I needed something to do with like my mind, because for like the hour leading up to it I was like shaking. I was so nervous because I was like, it's all or nothing, it's all or nothing. So yeah, I did not think I would get in. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see these lovely ladies again, you can follow them on the Stanford Trio on YouTube, so subscribe. I'll link their channel down below, and I hope this video helped you guys in some shape or form. If anything, just take away from this video that you don't have to be a perfect applicant to get into these really good schools. Like you heard, a lot of us didn't think we were gonna get in, so just shoot your shot. You never know what's gonna happen. So yeah. 1, 2, 3. Bye.
That was not surprise, y'all.
So destroy the evidence, leave not a trace, burn it in paper trash. That way they can deny possessing the illegal